A motion for the establishment of the National Dialogue Committee has been tabled before the National Assembly, with members set to debate it Wednesday afternoon. The motion, jointly sponsored by Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah and his minority counterpart, Opiyo Wandayi, seeks to have the entrenchment of the National Dialogue Committee into law so that its deliberations and resolutions are backed by law, and also sets the timeline within which the talks must be concluded. Here's Chemtai Goin with more details.
To the following motion, Honorable Speaker.
In what both Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah and his minority counterpart Opiyo Wandayi acknowledges necessary constitutional and legal reforms for the country's electoral laws, a motion seeking to give the National Dialogue Committee the legal backing has been filed in the National Assembly.
Cognizant that despite the constitutional and legal reforms on the electoral processes and the electoral laws, after every election cycle, there has been mistrust of electoral outcomes, leaving the country divided. Further cognizant that efforts to enhance constitutionalism, the rule of law, and respect for human rights need to be promoted.
This is such an important moment for this country, because it reminds us that every other time this country has basically gone to the precipice, has reached the cliff, it has always pulled back, and we can't take it for granted. We must be thankful to the Almighty for always coming in to rescue us.
The motion, co-sponsored by Ichung'wah and Wandayi, seeks the nod of the bicameral parliament to establish the 10-member committee comprising 4 non-parliamentarians, 4 active parliamentarians, and the leaders of majority and minority.
The mandate of the National Dialogue Committee shall be to facilitate dialogue and consensus building and recommend appropriate constitutional, legal, and policy reforms on issues of concern to the people of Kenya, to be framed by the National Dialogue Committee, in line with the Constitution and the laws of the Republic of Kenya, and respecting the functional and institutional integrity of state organs.
The motion is enlisting the 8-member technical committee that has been tasked to frame the agenda items for consideration by the Dialogue Committee. Insiders say the less controversial items will be dispensed with first before the more complex ones are tackled. The committee expected to give its report by mid-October.
The National Dialogue Committee shall report to the leadership of Kenya Kwanza-Azimio coalition within 60 days, and after that, submit its report to Parliament.
We need to seize this moment and very, very openly and sincerely look at the issues that confront our nation and try to deal with them in a manner that will not only secure our country, but also make it safer for the future generations.
Kenya Kwanza is represented by Dr. Mudhomi Kolu, Dr. Linda Musumba, Dr. Duncan Ojwang, and Nick Bikater in the technical committee, while Azimio has Jeremiah Kioni, Professor Adam Zolo, Abubakar Zain, and Lynn Gugi.
The National Dialogue Committee may invite, engage with, and consider submissions from stakeholders, collect views from the public, and engage experts, professionals, and other technical resource persons as necessary.
The National Assembly will consider the motion Wednesday before it is transmitted to the Senate for concurrence. And with the Senate currently on a short recess, it is likely the upper house will be recalled for a special sitting. The dialogue team is set to resume its sittings next week, Monday, where the framework agreement that will guide the talks will be formulated jointly with the technical committee. Chemtai Goin, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Azimio Chief